All right, so today we're going to be looking at the G2C. Okay, this is in Smarty Ford. All right, today we're going to be looking at the G2C, PT111, G2, G2C, um, in the 40 Smith & Wesson. I got a G2C here in 40. The gun is empty. You can see there. You can see inside there, nothing in the chamber. So let's talk about the pros and the cons with this thing. The pros, the handle. The handle is very, very ergonomic. You're not going to find this handle. You're not going to find a handle this good in pretty much any 40 Smith & Wesson you find. I've shot a lot of 40. I've shot a lot of 9. I'm telling you, this handle right here is one of the major pros to this gun. This gun is so ergonomic, especially if you have small hands. If you have bigger hands, maybe, it might be a little bit too small for you if you have bigger hands. Other pros, the loaded chamber indicator on the top. You can see there's not one in the chamber, but if you click up on that when the bullet's in there, you can this indicator goes up, and at night, like if you can't see your pistol, you can't see anything, it's dark. Let's say you have a pistol light on this thing because it has a tack rail on it. You can slide your hand across the top of this thing with that loaded chamber indicator up, and you can feel that it has a round in the chamber. So to me, between the ergonomics, that, and then you got a manual safety, the gun's reliable. So there's a lot of pros to this thing. The cons to this gun, I would say, are probably the trigger. Now the trigger's not perfect. It's not the worst trigger, and it's reliable. But it's a little crunchy, and you can feel it, like, kind of, there's a lot of take up there. But it consistently breaks at the same point if you're in double action. If you go to single action, I think it breaks in a different spot, or it feels a little different. So that's the only other thing. Another con to this thing would be maybe that it's the mag release is only on the left side, so it's kind of right-handed only. I did notice on these that this bottom plate, it kind of moves around a lot, and I just moved it right there. See, so I don't really like that part about it, but like, I've never heard of anybody having issues with that coming off. So to me, that's, it's kind of a quality thing, but that's kind of on, I think that's on Metgar anyway, because I think these are Metgar mags. It says they're made in Brazil. They could be Ford, they could be Taurus, I don't know. But anyway, I would say that that maybe is not a good, that's kind of annoying. You don't really notice it when you're shooting. You're not going to feel that part. It's just when you're loading it, you kind of feel it kind of wiggle around or whatever. So yeah, that would be, I would say, the pros and the cons to this. The G2C, this G2C, I would say also, maybe this is a little too aggressive, the stifling on this thing, on the handle on this, maybe too aggressive. You can feel it with bare hands when you're shooting. You can feel it it grips your skin a little bit, and kind of, it's a little pokey feeling, I guess. I don't have a better word for it, but otherwise, way more pros and cons to this thing. So between that and what you're gonna pay for one of these, I mean, you cannot get the features that this has on it. You cannot get that with everything it has. Quick takedown, the reliability, the ergonomics. You're not going to get that even with a full price like pistol. So I mean, you're going to go to 1911. You still got 10 rounds in here. 1911 is going to be limited to 7-8 rounds, whatever. So even with and one in the chamber. So you got potentially 11 rounds in this, and it's a carry size. You can take it out in the woods because it's 40 Smith & Wesson. I've had better luck with 40 Smith & Wesson. I've been able to shoot through more stuff with 40 Smith & Wesson than I can with a 45 ACP, and 9mm, not to mention even that. So You could go plus P with this thing and still be, you know, have even more power if you wanted. But I'm sticking with regular old 40 caliber, 40 Smith & Wesson. So, so yeah, that's the pros and cons to this pistol. This is one of the best pistols on the market in my opinion. The G2C is another model like this, but the G2C doesn't have the loaded chamber indicator, so it has a sight hole at the top. So it's, to me, that is a feature that I really want, especially if if it's at night and I got an intruder in my home. I want to feel that there's got a round in the chamber. So for me, I would prefer this over the G3C personally. All right, let's shoot. Let's try that one more time. There we go.